your host, Raymond. This show is all about all the motorsports that are going on in and out of Kenya in the events calendar. And I'm telling you, it was all systems go right here, this time round at Jamhuri Park, where we had the MX5 motocross event. The turnout was great. The people who came out in large numbers, we had guys all the way from Uganda, some guys from Tanzania here, and of course our very own Kenyans are here to represent. So that's going to make up for the first part of the show. And in other segments of the show, stick around as we bring you this year's round 6 of the Kenya National Autocross Championship in Nakuru. A quick chat with a motocross coach and parents. And finally, the history of the Mitsubishi in the world of running. This year's round 5 of the Kenya National Motorsport Championship event took place at the Jamhuri grounds here in Nairobi. The MX motocross competition is a closed-course motorcycle race over natural or simulated rough terrain with steep inclines, hairpins and mud. This is an annual competition here in Kenya, and the rider with the most accumulated points by the end of the year is crowned overall champion in their specific category.
We have 9 events in a year, so every event you score points. So at the end of the year, the one with the most points obviously becomes a national champion.
And looking at the MX5 event today, looking at this terrain, does it change or is it usually the same?
We change the circuit as much as possible for every event, and that makes the riders more competitive and unpredictable. Today, we've made it even more challenging because we are training the team that is going to Zimbabwe for the African Motocross of Nations, which is a continental championship at the end of August. And we're trying to build a capacity for the team as well. And therefore, we made the track more harder. And in the next 1 month, we're going to pour a lot of sand to make it sandy. And sandy tracks are some of the hardest tracks in riding. And that's what we expected to find in Harare in Zimbabwe.
The ultimate battle between home riders and the Ugandan rivals gave the event a thrilling atmosphere as they competed for bragging rights in categories such as MX2, MX85 and MX125, and the Peewee category was for the really young ones. Rolf Kihara was the star of the day in the MX2 category. He collected 57 points in the heats of the day, while Keith Garner won the MX5 category with a collective 60 points. And in other races of the day, Wahome Mutahi stole the show in the MX50 category, and Zeni Onditi topped in the MX125 category. So here they are. These are some of the 3 winners, that were taking part in this year's MX5 event, and it's really encouraging to see these young men.
I want to do well in Zimbabwe. That's coming up in August. That's my only target for now. It was good. I managed to get 3 whole shots for all 3 heats.
The champ for this year's MX5 motocross event, Jürgen, congratulations.
This event is a bit different from the enduro event. That is more motocross. Here it's more 15 minutes, who is the fastest. But I have enjoyed a lot, and the first round and the second round I had a bit competition with the riders. It was nice for me. It was the young riders. But now at the end, I have enjoyed and I had fun.
Can you say that this sport is actually really growing in Kenya and it's getting the traction that needs to?
Your media house is doing a lot. You're covering us a lot, and yes, the numbers have grown over the years.
Every competition brings new learnings, excitement and experiences. Kudos to all the winners, participants and of course you the fans for coming out in large numbers to support this year's event. Now in other news, let's take it all the way to Nakuru County for the spectacular 2019 Autocross Challenge. Imran Hakada was in top form in this year's event. He competed in 2 classes, where he won the 2-wheel drive turbo category by upstaging Shalin Muigai, who settled for 2nd position, while the pre-race favorite Kunal Patel took 3rd position. Hakada came in 2nd in the open class category, finishing behind Kirit Rajut. The 4-wheel category was won by Rehan Shah, who clocked 9 minutes 44.4 seconds ahead of his counterpart Shahib Omar. And in the quad category, it was a one-man show, as Wayne Fernandez was the only competitor in that class. It's always good to see a great lineup and tough competition, and Motor Week will definitely look forward to the next Autocross Challenge. Big up to Hakada and all the other winners who participated in this event. Now Motor Week is going to take a short break. When we come back, we sit down with JP Hiri, a motocross coach and trainer, and find out what his school is all about. Welcome back to our second segment, where we got a chance to sit down and talk to JP Hiri, a motocross coach, and more importantly, parents who have taken the initiative, time and investment to really bond with their kids through motocross. JP Hiri has been a motocross coach at the 2x2 motorcycle riding school, conveniently located at Jamhuri Motocross Grounds.
Karibu sana. Welcome to Motor Week.
Thank you.
All right. Maybe for guys who don't know about what you do, just let them know, like how did you get into this kind of sport, and what does it mean to be a teacher for motocross?
I got into the sport because of the nature of the business that I was doing. That's how I started riding bikes, and slowly I discovered most of the accidents that happen are due to poor training or not training at all. And that's why I decided to open up a school.
Yeah.
So it's a certified and registered school with NTSA. We also issue licenses, so we train kids and adults how to ride motorbikes.
Through the school, JP has been able to offer motorcycle training programs for school-going children between the ages of 4 to 18 years old.
We have specialized, special kind of bikes. Like for the very young kids, we start with the Pee-wee 50. Them off from 4 years old.
How come, people have not really picked up to it?
People feel like motorbikes are dangerous because of the way the boda guys ride. Secondly, publicity. Most people don't know about this event. Like, it will be well publicized, put adverts.
The school's main focus is to train children to be responsible, safe, and mechanically savvy drivers.
Is key. So you don't have to have your own motorbikes because we have our own bikes. So we charge like 30,000 for the full course, which is 10 hours. It translates to 3,000 per hour. That 3,000 covers the bike, the fuel, a dedicated instructor, and the full riding kit. From helmets, neck braces, body armor, knee guards, and boots.
Okay. And you as a teacher, seeing the way they have performed here and fared, what can you tell me about the event today?
Great. There was a great skill that was demonstrated.
With a smile on his face, JP tells me that motocross is an exciting, adrenaline-filled, emotionally charged sport that can be enjoyed by any person at any age of any sporting ability.
It's a nice sport for kids because it keeps them off from bad behaviors, and it also focuses on different programs. We go to schools and offer it as an extracurricular. We are conveniently located at Jamhuri Motocross Grounds. And again, you don't have to have your own bike because we have our own bikes and the full riding kit.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for coming on Motor Week.
Thank you.
Sana, and we'll keep supporting the sport.
Thank you.
How old is motocross in Kenya, and how has the journey been, development of this sport?
Motocross has been here for ages. Was a race once in the 1960s in the once upon a time Langalanga Estate in Nakuru. That's where motocross started. There was also motocross at the city stadium. There used to be motocross at some point. So it's come a long way.
How long have you been riding?
Since October in 2018.
What can you say about some of the friends that you are riding with?
I was riding with one of the Ugandans, and I was riding with my friend Simeon.
We are trying to build the sport. What I would like to do is encourage other parents who are interested in this, and if they want to come into this space, we will be here to support them I, for one, did not have everything. I mean, he started with other people's body armor.
And if you have boys who are energetic and you have a coin or two to spare, it's a wonderful way to bond, especially with boys and their fathers. Very many fathers are losing it now by spending millions or a lot of time in bars on Sundays and other events, not having time for their boys.
From the sport, parents are happy to have seen overall improvement from their kids. This is what most parents had to say about this sport.
You know, my son won the last one, last month, and today has been given a thorough beating. I think that's what sport is all about, right? You have got to fall down, you got to lift yourself up, and I guess this is what motorsport is all about.
It's a huge commitment. It's actually less about money and more about being there.
And it teaches him a lot of dedication, determination and responsibility. So it's been a very good thing.
Looking at the MX calendar, or the motocross calendar, how has he been faring on in terms of points? Where is he?
At the moment he's winning the championship by 58 points.
This is predominantly like a man's sport, and we are seeing more and more ladies coming and joining in. So far, how's the experience been for your daughter?
What we cannot absolutely substitute is gender. You know, we need to bring in as many women and girls as possible in this game. We build their sport, we build their confidence, and this is really what this sport is all about.
It's been very challenging because these boys are strong. When I beat them, they want to push me off the track or hit me. So it's very challenging. I have to train more than them because they are physically born stronger than girls. So I have to train a lot.
How old is your son?
He's 13 years. My son now, who has ridden two years, is riding with anybody in 85. Most of them have ridden for 8 years and 5 years and 8 years. You know, that's the majority are in that category. But of course now my son, because he has that guy to look up to.
Yeah.
He's right now number 2 in the country.
Okay.
And last year he came 5th in the African continent in Zambia. Some Kenyans were there to see. It was 1.5 years of riding.
Oh wow.
But it's mainly a father putting in time and the mother supporting. It's mainly, of course, the family.
Thanks to all the parents for supporting motocross, an exciting and interesting way to bond and spend time with your kids. Now, next on our history segment, we focus on the Mitsubishi in the world of rally. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution is one of the Mitsubishi flagship performance car. It's based on Lancer motor, which dates back to 1973. The Lancer name was used with other motors in the late 80s and early 90s for various regions where it was sold. The fourth generation Lancer introduced the first Evolution trim in 1992. The Evolution was the most popular for its earlier 90s involvement in the World of Rally Championships Group A class. Mitsubishi was used in larger gala for rally competition in the 1980s and 90s, which was successful but decided to move to a smaller and lighter platform to be more competitive. The Lancer Evolution capability not only applies to rally, they also transfer over to the street, making these cars very favorable for car enthusiasts. The first generation Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 1 appeared in 1992. It was designed specifically to compete in the World Rally Championship and the Asia Pacific World Rally Championship. The last motor Lancer to be involved in the WRC was 10 years prior with the X2000 Turbo. They transferred the engine and drive terrain from the larger Gala VR4 to the smaller Lancer chassis. It was sold in two versions, a GSR, which was more of a street car, and the stripped-down RS, which was more race-focused and lighter. Their involvement in the 1993 World Rally Championship had them close to several victories. They were also involved in Asia Pacific World Rally Championship, where most of their efforts were spent compared to WRC. Mitsubishi production experience earlier with Evolution caused them to produce 5,000 Evolution 2s. placed first in 1995 WRC Swedish Rally, which provided more motivation for improvement. 1995 also introduced the Lancer Evolution 3 with a new functional look. The speeds were increasing for rally stages with so many cooling arrows and a new turbo increased power to 270 horsepower. Mitsubishi finally received its first WRC driver's title in 1996 by Tommi Mäkinen. Their efforts paid off when they also received the Manufacturers Packers Championship for the Asia Pacific Rally Championship. The third generation Lancer Evolution 4 became a totally new car. It received many improvements, with the biggest one being the optional active rear differential and the active rear control, which use sensors to distribute torque between the wheels. The fourth generation Lancer Evolution 5 received new styling and new aero, which was revised for better cooling and more aggression. The Evolution 5 was created based on the new World Rally car rules. They were still using a production motor car, while other manufacturers moved on to the WRC specific chassis. Despite all the factors going against them, including the WRC specific competitors, Mitsubishi received its first WRC Manufacturers Championship in 1998, and Tommi Mäkinen won the World Rally Championships driver's title again in 1998 and 1999. The Evolution 6 was the last car used under the ALS Group A homologation requirement. WRC rules favored WRC specific cars, so this was the last we saw of a production Lancer Evolution in the World Rally Championship. Tommi Mäkinen did win the driver's title for the last year, and there was a special Tommi Mäkinen Edition Evolution produced in 2,000 units to celebrate his accomplishment. Mitsubishi continued to pursue WRC with their first WRC specific Evolution 7 in 2001. They were not successful as hoped for, and with Tommi Mäkinen leaving to drive for Subaru, the drive lineup and development of WRC spec Evolution was in question. Mitsubishi then decided to take a year off in 2003 from the WRC and return in 2004, where they finally pulled off the 2006 season. The sixth generation Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 appeared in 2007. It used a new chassis but was larger, heavier, and more refined, and lacked the responsiveness of the previous generation. It also received an all-new aluminium engine called the B411, and the transmission options were 5-speed manual and the 6P twin-clutch Sportronic shift transmission. It also received a super oil well control system for its traction. The Evolution made its end in 2015 with a special Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 Final Edition produced as a farewell to the Evolution series of the Lancer. And just to crown it all, in this year's WRC candidate event in Kenya, Mitsubishi managed to scoop the first and second position.
What an amazing piece of history about the Mitsubishi, its evolution, development, and involvement in the world of rally. I hope you guys got to learn a thing or two. Now, Motor Week is going to take a short break. When we come back, it's all about the Nandi 4x4 Challenge. The 4x4 Challenge is one of the incredible sports in the country. Now, Motor Week will be bringing you 4x4 challenges in the country. Some include the Rhino Charge, the Meru, Nandi, and Elgon 4x4 challenges, just to mention but a few. Now, let's take you guys all the way back to this year's 2019 Nandi 4x4 Challenge, where we look at some of the great moments in that event. The event brought together hundreds of individuals from across the county. It was meant to promote sports tourism in the heart of Nandi County.
Imezima.
And on the international scene in the world of motorsport, we'll be focusing on the 2019 German Grand Prix. And back here at home, it was all about the autocross in my Mahim. The Red Bull Romaniacs would be another spectacular event to look out for, taking place between 30th July and 3rd August 2019. Renowned as the world's toughest enduro rally, the Red Bull Romaniacs brings together some breathtaking riding in the wild, mountainous wilderness of Romania. The next rally in Finland, it brings the world top rally drivers and cold drivers to central Finland between the 1st and 4th of August. Now I'm afraid that's all the time we had for you guys this time round on Motor Week. Make sure to catch us next week for more action in the world of motorsports. I have been your host Raymond saying kwaherini ya kuonana. Till next time, bye-bye.